is this a place where we talk about metaverse? Because to me, these words now almost no interchangeably used, don't you think?
Totally. So in terms of the metaverse, it is a place. So I think like people really complicate things to make it sounds like a really completely new idea. I personally feel like it's just like, like what the most people on the internet believes, that like, it is just a time that you spend more time on your digital world than your physical world. As metaverse is just a your like basically where you can reflect your digital identity. What I like about the metaverse compared to like the physical like face to face is like sometimes you can express yourself more freely. Like let's say like when you are in, for example, right now when I go to the mall, I have to wearing like a just traditional t-shirt or like a mini suit or like like some casual clothing. But in the metaverse, when I express myself, I can be whoever, look like whatever. I could wearing crazy hat, or I could basically dress myself the way that I want it, and then that's a way to express who you truly are from digital perspective. And then on the other hand, there's no limitation in terms of geographic location. So right now, although I live in Silicon Valley, I can still talk to people like yourself, in another different state, and then I could communicate with people. And then like I have a mini Web3 meetup group on LinkedIn, and then prior to well, a couple of weeks ago, we have one of the founders who founded a bar in the metaverse. So she leveraged like I believe Spatial or like another website to build a mini metaverse or like mini wine room for all of us. We all went on her metaverse to. We didn't really we taste the wine in the meta. We didn't really taste the wine, but I guess like we can just feeling that like we are being in the same room together, we can dress the way that we wanted instead of just wearing like a really boring t-shirt. I feel like that was a really great experience to actually feeling that you are being in the same room with people that you may like sadly you may never ever meet in person, right? We have people from Italy, from Dubai, from Canada, like I personally live in the US. And then so to make everybody sitting in the same room will cost a lot of money. However, that metaverse experience really provided us like a little deeper bond, because like it really makes you feel like you are in the same room physically.
We kind of touched on creator economy already, but I still want to spell it out explicitly, because now it's interchangeable again. Environment we're in. So Web3, creator economy, is it again? And I'm dumbing down this question, on purpose. Is it for creators only, for those who are marketeers, for those who are out there, artists, musicians, or it's for every business? I just want to hear your opinion.
I think everyone can find their place to Web3 or the metaverse. I think the metaverse is supposed to be a more of a amplifier on what you already feeling, instead of like exclusive experience for only the most creative people can succeed. I think because I do think it's like a really provided a little bit different platform than the past like Web2 space. I feel like when you talk about creatives, like one of the creative part is, let's say, writing, right? Like like writing has been since Web1 you can technically write a web page, and then Web2 you can like be in like a Reddit forum that like you commenting on other people's just like other people's topics or other people's thoughts, right? And then in Web3 you can, like you mentioned earlier, there's the ownership piece of it, right? Like let's say you use like a mirror XYZ, you can technically monetize your thoughts right on the spot, and then other people can have ownership, can have a part of the ownership to own a piece of like what they also believe in. I think those are really important. Writing is not a skill that's only for the most creative people, right? It's for business people, it's for just literally anyone. I'm sure if you live on the live in the world, you probably wrote something in the past. So I personally feel like that's really inclusive in terms of how you express yourself. It's not necessarily the most creative people can do it. On the other hand, I personally have a separate opinion on the word creator, because I don't think creator meaning you have to be creative. I'm a creator myself. I've observed like many of the really successful creators took off, and I interviewed some of them on my podcast. I feel like all of them have number one, a really robust system for themselves. They all kind of like, they're more of like a disciplined person than being extremely creative. I'm sure like some of them are extremely, having really unique perspective in arts, in like music, in like video making. However, like most of them are just designed like a really robust system. Let's say in the morning, this is the time that they consume content, and then in the middle of the day, they, no matter what, they will shoot a video, and then at 3 o'clock they edit that video, at 9 o'clock they must launch it. So basically they all have really just like strict discipline to consume content, producing content, editing content, promoting their content. They are more of a disciplined person than I would call them creative. So I do think if you are a hardworking person, and then if you are a person with your own thoughts and opinions, you can find your place in the metaverse, in the Web3 space, in just in anything.